Great. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for having me, the city of Bay Harbor. I'm so excited to be here. When I was asked to speak for nutrition tips for the new year, I thought it was a great topic because I know this is something that everyone always looks forward to as soon as the new year begins, is making a change regarding their nutrition. And so I'm super excited to give you guys some insight and some great easy tips that you guys can incorporate this year as this year has already begun and through the rest of the new year. So I'm Susie Cohen. I am a registered dietitian here at Aventura Hospital. And so before we begin, just a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm a clinical dietitian here at Aventura Hospital. I cover the 44-bed ICU and trauma unit, as well as the ICU step-down unit and the ortho and spine floor. I graduated with my Bachelor of Science in Dietetics and Nutrition from Florida International University in 2019, and then I went on to complete my dietetic internship and residency at Larkin Community Hospital and Coral Gables. So I really enjoy the clinical setting, and I feel like that's really where I thrive in the field of nutrition, and I love working here as a clinical dietitian. However, I do love giving talks like these and sharing these messages of easy nutrition to the public. So this is definitely something that I'm super excited to have for you guys today. So let's begin and let's get into the topic. So this topic that we're going to be talking about today is nutrition tips for the new year, right? So I wanted to just start off with kind of thinking of what comes to everybody's mind when you hear the words nutrition and the word new year. I feel like those two words are always put together whenever a new year begins, right? And I feel like many of us have always grown up thinking through the years that the new year, when it comes to nutrition and the new year, it's always related to these things that you see here on the screen. So we always see and hear these words, especially around January time. So detoxes, diet, less carbohydrates, juice cleanses, no more cheat days, right? Weight loss. These are all words that we always see, whether it's on commercials or different foods that are being sold this time of year on social media. They're always trying to get us to do any of these things that you see here when it comes to new year, right? New year, new me. However, I really want to focus today on making sure that we kind of learn as to the reason why we want to reframe our thinking and not really focus on all of these different aspects of nutrition in the new year, if they're even aspects of nutrition, because they aren't, number one, they're not sustainable changes. Number two, there is no science to back them up. And number three, it definitely doesn't help to build a good relationship with you and your body. And I feel like when it comes to nutrition, and especially if you're trying to make a change in the new year, many people especially want to make a change because they want to look a certain way, they want to have a certain number on the scale. I feel like it's very beneficial and more sustainable and better for your soul and better for your mind to be happier, to not focus on changing your nutrition and your way of eating because you want to look a certain way or because you want to weigh a certain number on the scale, but for other reasons. And so I really encourage you guys to reframe your thinking as this new year begins for 2021. And let's reframe it for good when it comes to thinking of the nutrition changes that we're going to do. Let's focus on good nutrition and nourishment this year instead of really, for a number on the scale or to look a certain way. Let's focus on it to prevent chronic diseases, right? To feel happier, to support our immunity, especially right now, increase our energy, enhance our focus, to sleep better, and so many more reasons that good nutrition and nourishment is good for you besides just your appearance and looking a certain way. And of course, if you want to lose weight, that's something that is your goal this year, then by all means, as long as you're doing it in a healthy way, that there's a good reason why you're doing it, why you want to do it, of course, that's a great reason to change up your nutrition. But I feel like the overall focus should always be on these different, reasons that I have listed right here, just because it's going to lead to a better relationship with ourselves and our bodies long term. And another thing I wanted to keep in mind before I give you guys these nutrition tips is that we always see and hear these words, right? Detox, juice cleanse. We have to remember that our bodies are very smart, they're very intelligent, and we have two organs in our body who are working for us constantly, the liver and the kidney, to ensure that we are always getting rid of anything that's not supposed to be there. They do an actual biological detox and get rid of any toxins, of any waste, and that's always going on as long as those two organs are healthy. And how do we maintain those two organs at their optimal function, at their best? It's giving them good nutrition. It's giving them the nutrients that they need to perform all those functions. So we shouldn't have to say, hey, I'm going to go on a juice cleanse in order to lose weight, in order to get rid of any waste or toxins in my body, because that's not what's going to help you do all those things. Your liver and your kidneys, as long as they're functioning in the way that they're supposed to, they are going to be doing that job for you. And so as long as you're giving it the right nutrients and the right nourishment through nutrition, you should be okay in that aspect. So let's really reframe our thinking for good when it comes to nutrition in this new year. And hopefully these next tips that I'm going to give you guys that you'll see in the next slides are going to help you reframe your thinking and really achieve that good nutrition in order to help you achieve all these things that we see right here. Okay? So the first nutrition tip that I wanted to start off with is enjoy plants. This year, I want you more than ever before to enjoy plants. And that doesn't mean just eat them, just make sure that you're always putting plants on your plate. But find your favorite ways to enjoy them. I'm not here to tell you to eat something that you don't like. I want you to eat plants. And when it comes to plants, I'm talking about vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains, anything that comes from nature, from the earth. I want you to eat them, not because I'm telling you to, not because I'm forcing you to, but because you actually enjoy them. You find it delicious, you find it satisfying, and you have a way in which you enjoy it yourself. Why do we want to focus on plants? Well, as you see right here, they're full of vitamins, full of minerals, antioxidants, phytonutrients, which are plant compounds that are found in all vegetables and fruits that provide so many different properties like disease prevention, organ protection, etc., and fiber. These are all the benefits and more that you can find in different kinds of plants, and that's why you just want to make sure that you incorporate them in your diet. But like I said, don't just incorporate them, enjoy them. Find your favorite way to eat them. That's going to help you eat them. And so if you don't like carrots on their own, for example, and the only way you'll eat them is with carrots and hummus, eat it that way. If you only like berries in your yogurt, eat it with your yogurt. Same with banana and nut butter. Any way that you like to eat your favorite fruits, vegetables, beans, etc., find the way that you like to enjoy it. Find the way that you like to eat it best. It doesn't matter what you combine it with. I know that there's a bunch of different combinations that you can put two and two together with. Whichever way you like it, whichever way satisfies you and your soul, put that together, eat it that way. But as long as you are eating it and enjoying them in order to reap from all of their incredible benefits. And another important thing to keep in mind is that nutrition is available in all forms. So I'm telling you guys right now to enjoy your plants, but I'm not necessarily telling you how to enjoy them. You are free to eat frozen produce, canned produce, fresh produce, whichever one is best for you and your family's needs, whichever one is the most accessible to you. There's no reason why you need to be spending, your money on organic, fresh produce if all you can really afford is frozen and canned, because all of them give you all of the benefits of fruits and vegetables, of legumes, no matter what form they come in. And as we know, frozen and canned fruits and vegetables, they're very convenient. You just have to open a can and put it on your plate, put it in a salad. They last so much longer. Produce, we know how long it lasts in the fridge, sometimes not even a week. And so it's really all about what's best for you and your family. Find the way that you can access the plants, find the way that you enjoy the plants, and incorporate that into your meals this year. The next tip that I want to give you guys is don't forget your gut bugs. So this one is super important, and this is something that has come up in the nutrition world in the last couple of years, and that more and more people right now are realizing the importance of. So we all host trillions, and when I say trillions, I mean trillions of microbial cells in our digestive system. And they all work together to keep us healthy. So we literally store, we literally have right now in our digestive tract, in our gut, trillions and trillions of microbes working together to keep us healthy, and they're doing different functions at all times in order to ensure our well-being. They're doing things like creating vitamins. Some of them actually create vitamins like vitamin B7, like biotin. They are helping digest your food and helping convert some of your food into energy. They help with your immune system because actually a big 2/3 of our immune system is located in our gut. We have a lot of our immune cells there, and our gut bugs, our microbes, are a huge part of that. And they're ensuring that your immune system is working properly as long as you have the beneficial microbes in good balance in your digestive tract. And so all of these and more are reasons why you don't want to forget your gut bugs, and you want to make sure that you're always giving them what they need in order to thrive. So how do we do that? So we want to, number one, focus on fiber-rich foods. Fiber-rich foods are considered prebiotics. What prebiotics are, they are food that your gut bugs, your microbes literally thrive from. They will ferment fiber, and from that, they will be able to grow, they'll be able to multiply, they'll be able to do all the different functions that they need to do, right? That's how they get their energy. So just like we get energy from food, the microbes in our digestive tract get energy from prebiotics, and those are fiber-rich foods. Fiber-rich foods are these: whole grains, fruits and veggies with the skin. You always want to make sure that you have the skin as much as possible because that's where all the fiber is found. No juices when we're talking about fruits and vegetables because the juices are stripped from their fiber. It's just pure sugar. And so if you really want to benefit from the fiber in fruits and veggies, you want to make sure you're eating it whole with their skin when possible. Legumes, so chickpeas, beans, black beans, navy beans, all that stuff. Nuts and seeds and healthy fats like nuts, like we said, and avocado. All of these are super fiber-rich foods that will help, make your gut bugs healthy and make them happy and keep you going and keep doing all the things that they need to do in order to keep you healthy. It's kind of crazy when we think about it, how there's actually like a whole other population living inside of us working together to keep us alive. And so we want to make sure that we're always feeding it what they need in order to keep doing that. Another thing you want to focus on is probiotic-rich foods. So these are foods that actually contain within them these healthy, these good bugs, these good microbes that our digestive system needs in order to work properly, in order for our immune system to work properly. And so by you eating some of them, you can actually add to your population that you already have inside and, make it even better. So what foods are the ones that contain probiotics? It's usually the ones that are fermented, right? Because that's what's going to create them. That's what's going to help that population grow. So think of things like yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut. Kefir is actually a big one nowadays that's gaining more popularity. It's basically fermented milk, and it kind of is like yogurt, but it's more of a liquid consistency. It's great because it also has a lot of probiotics because it's fermented. And so the more you incorporate these foods into your diet, I would say definitely focus on getting these in daily in order to not forget about the incredible little gut bugs in your digestive tract. The more your digestive system will definitely benefit and thrive. I also put here to try a probiotic supplement if you're not consuming fermented foods. So if these types of foods are not ones that you like or that you usually enjoy, there are many different types of probiotic supplements out there. However, I do just want to say a disclaimer that the research does show that probiotic supplements are strain specific. So you can't just take any probiotic supplement in order to benefit your digestive system. There are specific strains of probiotics that can or can't help your digestive system, because a lot of them are supposed to be for immunity, a lot of them are for, different kinds of health, like different parts of our body that can benefit from specific types of probiotics. And so if you really just want to focus on your digestive system, for example, there are specific probiotic strains that the research shows would benefit. So not all of them. So I would just, encourage you to do your research to see which one would be the right one for you, not just get any probiotic supplement in the market just because it is a probiotic, right? And last thing, just be mindful of added sugars, artificial sweeteners, and vegetable oils, because these are things that our bugs, our microbes do not like. it can really affect your digestive system. It can affect the population of good bacteria, and it can affect the balance of good versus bad bacteria in your system. And you always want to make sure that you have more good than bad, of course, right? And so just be mindful of these and any other foods that can affect that population, because you always just want to make sure that it stays at its optimum. Okay, the third tip, and I feel like this one is said all the time, but you just can never stress it enough, right? Stay hydrated. There are many symptoms of dehydration that you want to look out for that can really tell you that you aren't as hydrated as you should be. So if you're, of course, very thirsty, if you have continuous headaches, you're dizzy, you're experiencing fatigue, your eyes are sunken, you have decreased urination, you have a fever, these are all symptoms that you want to look out for. And you can see the last bullet point right here. I put check your urine color. That's the best way for you to know whether or not you're hydrated, right? If you know that it's clear, you see that it's clear, you know that you're getting in enough water, and that very likely you're staying hydrated. And so definitely look out for these. You always want to be hydrated, because that's what's going to help you stay energized throughout the day. That's what's going to help literally vitalize all of your organs. And so definitely drinking water and drinking absolutely anything that you like to drink, and that's what we're going to talk about right now, is key. So one of the ways that you can always remember to drink your water or stay hydrated is carry a reusable water bottle with you everywhere. I love it, because I see right now that everybody is doing it for the most part. Everywhere I look, I feel like someone is carrying their reusable water bottle. You can find tons of them in every single store, whichever one you like, any design, any size. And so that's a great tip, because if you have it with you at all times and you see it, that's just going to benefit you, or it's going to motivate you, I should say, to drink it, every time you see it. Another thing I wanted to say is, so water is very boring for some people. They say, I can't just drink water all the time. I'm going to get tired of it. It's not, it's not fun. I need something with more flavor, with more pizzazz. And so something you can do is add some fruits, add some vegetables or herbs to your water, kind of up the flavor a little bit. A lot of people love adding things like mint, like fresh mint, basil, sage, rosemary. Just put a little bit in there, even like cut up fruits, cut up cucumbers, for example, and that can add actually a lot of flavor to your water. You can change it up as you like, right, in order to have variety. So that's a great way to stay hydrated and keep it fun at the same time. And fruits and vegetables count. We know that there's a lot of fruits and vegetables that are high in water. So I listed some here. There's, of course, many more. Cucumber, watermelon, cantaloupe, pear, zucchini. These are all super high in water. Their water content is pretty high. And you can see that, right? Every time you cut into one, the water like splashes everywhere. That's how you know that it's filled with water. These count, and these actually hydrate you, and they give you that water that can help, give you the energy and vitalize your organs. And so it counts. And so if you know that you're eating a lot of these fruits and vegetables that are high in water, you know that you are also doing your part to stay hydrated. So don't just focus on the water. Of course, that's the main part that you're drinking, but also the more that you incorporate high water fruits and vegetables into your diet, that can also add to your overall, balanced hydration as well. Okay, the fourth nutrition tip that I want to give you guys is spice up your life. So this is a great way to decrease our sodium intake. And one of the ways that we can decrease our sodium intake is by adding different spices to our foods instead of adding table salt to everything we cook or to everything we make. And one of the reasons why we want to just focus on, and be mindful of decreasing our sodium intake is for these reasons listed here and for many more. Because we know that with too much sodium intake, we can increase our risk for high blood pressure, for fluid retention, cardiovascular disease, kidney disease. And so in order to prevent that, so really just as a form of prevention, even when we don't have these conditions, right, we want to make sure that we are decreasing our sodium intake, because that's just going to be the best way to prevent these complications. One of the best ways to add flavor to our foods without having to add so much salt or sodium is replacing any added salt with spices and herbs. Spices and herbs, I feel like they are underrated. They're not talked about enough when it comes to baking and cooking. and they add so much flavor, and not just flavor, but they are filled with antioxidants and phytochemicals. You see all the deep colors of all the different spices? That tells you right there that they're filled with phytochemicals and plant compounds that are preventative for diseases, that benefit you, that help you. And so that's just another reason why you want to make sure that you're adding these to your diet, right? They're also, like I said, delicious. They last long. You can store them in your kitchen for a while. If you buy them in bulk, you can expand your food dollar. They're pretty cheap when you buy them in bulk. And so really focus on adding these to your foods instead of reaching for the table salt, and loading your fries with it, loading your rice with it. The more spices you add, the better, the more flavor, and the more nutrition that you'll be adding to your food as well in a very simple way. So I just listed some here, but of course, this is an endless list. There is no such thing as too many spices, and there are so many out there. These are some of my favorites: basil, oregano, thyme, cayenne, cumin, allspice, onion powder, garlic powder, cinnamon, black pepper, nutmeg, chili pepper, and they even sell combinations of all these different spices. And there's just so many. You go to the spice aisle, and there's like no limit to how many there are and how many exist. And so have fun with it, feel free, and there are many that are sodium free, so definitely take advantage of those spices and use those to spice up your food and to add flavor to your food instead of loading up on the salt and the sodium. Okay, the last nutrition tip that I want to give you guys today, and I feel like this ends it off on a good note, is involve your mind in your nutrition. So nowadays, it's something that's very common and being, talked about a lot in the media and in different books. It's to be mindful when you're eating. It's called mindful eating or mindful nutrition. And these are the key points of mindful eating. Number one, you always want to listen to your hunger cues and honor your hunger. So I feel like many people, they feel hungry and they get mad. They say, why am I feeling hungry? I'm not going to feed myself. I'm not going to give myself food. I just ate 2 hours ago. That's number one, not listening to your hunger cues. And number two, that's not honoring your body and what it wants. So if your body is hungry, if you are listening and you feel like you need food at that moment in time, that is for a specific reason. It's because you probably did not eat enough in your last meal, or you probably didn't eat what your body needed in the last meal. And so I really want to kind of make you guys aware that you shouldn't feel bad if you're getting hungry all the time, because that just means that your body is asking for more nutrition because it needs it. So honor that hunger and don't skip meals if you are hungry just because you don't want to give your body more food. Avoid these when eating. So avoid the TV, avoid your phone, avoid the computer as much as possible. I know nowadays we're all multitasking, doing many things at a time, but these really distract us from our eating and from enjoying our experience when we're eating and from really feeling whether or not we're full, whether or not we're still hungry. These really limit our perceptibility of our hunger cues. And so as much as possible, I really want to encourage you guys to avoid having your TV on or using your phone or using your computer while you're eating, and just enjoy the experience of eating. That's going to make you more mindful in your process. Sit down comfortably to eat. Don't stand up. Don't lean against the counter. Don't run, obviously. Don't do anything besides sitting when you're eating. Eat slowly. Enjoy the food. And engage your 5 senses. So look at your food, smell it, taste it, feel it. What like memories are you getting from it when you eat it? How does it make you feel? The more mindful of your foods you are, the more mindful of your meals you are, the more likely you are to really hear your body and hear its hunger cues. And you're going to know very easily when you're full. And you're going to say, you know what? I'm satisfied with what I had right here with this amount. I know that I can always finish this later, or I know that I can always eat later. And so I'm just going to stop right here. But the only way that you're going to be able to hear that and to listen to your body is when you are being 100% mindful. You have no distractions. You're sitting down and you're very concentrated. And the last thing, guys, be grateful. Be grateful for your food. Be grateful for your ability to eat. I can tell you that, in these last few weeks with COVID, as a dietitian in the hospital, I, more than ever before, I'm so grateful for my ability to eat and for my ability to eat food by mouth. And so be grateful for the ability to have food, for the ability to eat, and that's just going to make you more mindful of what you're eating and your whole nutrition experience overall. And definitely it's going to make you happier and more likely to make better nutrition choices in the long term. So again, just to reiterate what I want you guys to focus on this year, I want you guys to enjoy plants, not just eat them. Don't forget your gut bugs. Don't forget your gut microbiome. Stay hydrated, spice up your life instead of always reaching for the table salt, and involve your mind in your nutrition. Be mindful of what you're eating, how you're eating, most importantly. So right now, I am free to take any questions, but I wanted to thank you again for having me, and thank you all for coming. It was a wonderful experience, and I had so much fun preparing this and speaking to you guys about this topic. So I am free to answer any questions if you guys have any at this time. Thank you again.